We earn, buy something and save our money. Living beyond economy is impossible. What trends are dictated by the world markets and how do they affect consumers? Watch this in the program People and Economy. What are the incomes of flower shops? In normal working days, their profit does not exceed $1,000. Meanwhile, on holidays, the sales revenue sometimes reaches $10,000. Rising popularity of flowers and the flower business development itself have increased the demand for florists, whose work is now vital for any event. Floristry is a science dealing with bouquet making, flower compositions and flower decoration in accordance with certain rules. The need in professional florists resulted in opening of special schools and training courses. Thus, studies lasting 1.5 months cost about $300. Among those who would like to study floral art are men and women. For some of them it is just a hobby. Others, like Zemana Inutkina, have more ambitious goals. I think that the profession of floral designer at the time of crisis is very important and in demand. Judge for yourself. No crisis can abolish weddings, balls, birthday parties, anniversaries or corporative events, and no of these occasions can be organized without a florist. Meanwhile, not only florists regard flower growing as a profitable business. Sometimes farmer amateur gardeners turn into successful entrepreneurs. Their sales profit averages between $10,000 and $50,000 per month. However, making big money flow into your pockets will require florists to invent into a land modern greenhouses with drip watering system and seeds. Of course, we need to invest a lot. Apart from sanitary processing and fertilizing, you should make your own efforts and be eager to do it. Nowadays, flower business is very profitable because people in Kazakhstan are accustomed to flowers and buy a lot of them. This business brings considerable revenues. Many sellers and producers of flowers used to say that March feeds them during the whole year. Because of that, they start to prepare for spring as early as in autumn. In winter, flowers are imported from abroad. Every year, more than 20,000 tons of roses, tulips and other species at the total cost of $150 million are supplied to Kazakhstan from different parts of the world. Residents of Astana and Almaty, who buy 80% of all flowers, remains the principal customers. Besides professional florists, cosmetic shops, jewelry salons and even sellers of home appliances are involved in preparations for holidays. In our days, people want to get new products, gadgets, phones, phone accessories, tablet computers, phablets and many other things available for consumers. The most in-demand gifts are perfumes, gift certificates and household appliances. Besides that, intangible gifts such as a date on a roof or a serenade under the balcony are also gaining popularity. The tendency towards unusual surprises has led to mass opening of various event agencies capable of organizing a dinner, simulated siege of your house by special mission units and so on. The service costs vary between $100 and $1,000 depending on complexity of preparation and used resources. Handmade gifts are also in fashion. A unique vintage box, clumsy tilt-style puppets, felt slippers in the form of cats. Sales of all these things hit records on global markets, despite the fact that gifts made with people's own hands are more expensive than those produced by factories. Handmade materials are very expensive. It often happens that people do not understand why such things have very high prices. Handmade masters are people who are very careful about the quality of their works. Materials are expensive because they belong to the category of hobby materials, which are always expensive. Handcrafted items bring to their producers from $2,000 per month. At the same time, in order to organize their business in a due manner, such masters need to improve their skills all the time, visit various courses and sometimes even study abroad. Still, it is not enough, experts say.
Обязательно должна.
Mastering new skills is necessary in order to earn more. Today, for example, decoupage is more profitable and you use this technique. But tomorrow it will be replaced by felting and card making and you will stay without work.
Стоит.
On holiday eve, prices for gifts and flowers are usually increased twofold. It is explained by the fact that sellers want to minimize their losses from supposedly unsold or rotten flowers. In the meantime, the price markup will guarantee a full cost recovery.
Есть спрос.
If there is a demand, the price is formed by supply and demand. A high demand is an opportunity of getting profit, which was insufficient in other seasons.
Прибыль.
Holidays make company managers to make presents. According to experts, they spend about $70 per employee. Sometimes it can be a corporate party or money award. Experts estimate that people are ready to spend from $20 to $100 to buy a gift for their relatives and from $10 to $25 for their friends. The expenses on buying a souvenir or flower for colleagues usually make up from $5 to $10. Despite the fact that Europe is the homeland of the International Women's Day, it is not celebrated there as such. On the contrary, in Germany it is a usual working day, and what is more, some German women stand for its abolishment. Meanwhile, many Italian women prefer to spend this day without men. In Poland and Bulgaria it is an official holiday, and women are traditionally given flowers. Nevertheless, it is a working day. Residents of Hungary also do not forget about the fair sex on this day. Still, much more attention in European countries is given to other dates. There is the Mother's Day and there is the Father's Day. Perhaps these are equivalents of our 8th of March and 23rd of February. But the majority of purchases and gifts are made before Christmas. Despite the low mood among the majority of population, sales of flowers continue to hit all records. The lion's share belongs to exports. The Netherlands are the main supplier of world flower markets. 70% of bouquets consists of Dutch flowers. The growing flower business in Europe attracts investors from all over the world. In addition, along with grown plants, foreign buyers and producers are interested in seeds. For example, a firm which specializes in selling of seedlings and small plants owns large lands. They grow their plants in containers, use special machines for their treatment and attract peat somewhere nearby. They are mainly based on the human factor. European flower markets are always overcrowded. Indeed, local men get used to give flowers for no reason. The statistics show that about 75% of male population of Holland, Germany and the UK buy flowers 2 to 3 times per month. For reference, in CIS countries, this figure reaches only 4%. Unlike CIS countries, for Asian states, making gifts to women during holidays is not typical due to local traditions. Lack of demand for flower gifts in China made the country one of the top 5 major exporters of decorative and rare flowers. But despite the low popularity of gifts, Asian people like holidays and festivals and spend a lot of money on their organization. China is no doubt one of the leaders on the festival market. In total, local people spend from 800 billion to 1 trillion yuan on such events, without taking into consideration official corporative gifts. The Women's Day, or the Puppet Festival in Japan, is an official holiday celebrated on the 3rd of March. As distinguished from China, there it is a tradition to make expensive gifts for all the women. It is notable that whereas earlier the festivity was rather a tradition, later it acquired a commercial shade. This event is accompanied by sales and lotteries. At the same time, thrifty Japanese on this day spare no expense for their beloved women. The average cost of a gift makes up almost $300. In the US, the Mother's Day is celebrated in the beginning of May as an equivalent of March the 8th. Traditionally, men make gifts, buy flowers and sweets. An average US citizen is ready to spend about $200. The gift certificates are considered to be most popular presents.
подарочные сертификаты стали...
For the first time, gift certificates were used in the US. According to some information, they make up 10% of the whole retail market. It is approximately $200 billion annually.
Миллиардов долларов.
Preparations to this commemorative day begin in a good time, and this is a rush job for handmade masters. In the US, individual gifts in the form of cakes and spice cakes with a family name or things with a tag for mother are especially appreciated. Holidays and festivals have turned from traditional into commercial long time ago. Red letter days are long awaited by all entrepreneurs because the demand for all products on these days is very high. Last year, the global sales of various souvenirs reached almost $40 billion.
Организации...
It has become a fashion when organizations and shops intensively introduce these holidays and customers support them. It is a major business which brings billions of dollars and furthers the economic growth. Festivals and celebrations are the indicators that our society is becoming richer.
Празднование говорит о том, что наше общество...
The profit from flowers is estimated at $60 billion. More than 80% of flowers sold and purchased all over the world go through the auction in the city of Ellesmere in the Netherlands. Best roses are delivered there from Ecuador, Colombia, Ethiopia and Kenya, and irises and pinks from Spain, Turkey and Israel. Meanwhile, small Holland holds the leadership in growing of tulips. 20 million of flowers and plants are auctioned daily. Only within 4 hours, 12 million roses are sold, and it is notable that buyers do not need to stay there personally. Instead of that, they can participate in online auctions. Online auctions are intended not only for flowers. Digital trading platforms were also created for handmade items, which attract craftsmen from all over the world. Opening an account in an internet shop requires commission payment from each sales transaction. Now professional managers assumed the role of sellers. Making your goods available on a website requires a certain payment. Doing it on Etsy will cost you 20 cents every 4 months, plus commission of 3.5% from each transaction. The monthly fee at Artfire makes up $13. Placing your goods on Folksy costs £45 annually. Saving your money on holidays is possible despite increased prices. To do that, you are recommended to buy gifts in one and the same place and save on transport. Do not ignore discount coupons or goods from online shops. However, planning is the best way of saving.
В большинстве случаев...
In most cases, men plan nothing and buy things in the last moment. Of course, they pay several times more for goods which do not cost such money. You should remember that the earlier you buy a gift, the more adequate will be its price.
Не стоит.
Whereas perfumes, jewelry and sweets can be bought beforehand, it won't work with flowers. Still, there is no need to pay a pretty penny, as even in this case there are some ways to save the money. The most important advice is not to buy flowers in crowded places. A fresh and comparatively cheap bunch can be purchased in a greenhouse. Another option is wholesale centers, which begin their work at night time. Wholesale purchasing can save up to 50% of your finances. Florists distinguish two most popular types of flowers, roses and tulips. Depending on the size, the cost of a rose varies from $4 to $10 per flower and from $2 to $3 on a wholesale market. The price of locally grown tulips is $3 to $5. Those from Holland cost $6 and more. The price of flowers in a bouquet increases by 20 to 30%. Chinese breeders spent 8 years to grow a rare species of orchids which blossom just once in 5 years. This plant has become the most expensive flower in the history of the planet. In 2005, the masterpiece was sold at $202,000.